production or unfavorable winds. All these things would have caused this trouble. But the exact reason has to be. I also, while I was going through this record, I was also very particular about this number 6. Why it was so? It is 50% reduction.
Yes, correct. But
so for the reason we have to go into the other records, which we will look at it, madam. That is a very relevant question. We will also put it. We will also bring it to light.
Because from the 18th century,
maybe I presume there is some because of some unfavorable wind situation, such things would have been passed. The number of vessels would have been less.
A good biography of Dr. Sri Raja Jamal.
That we have to look at this. That we have to go through the more records that may be available in Kedah. That we have to local interest. There may be some writings. These records actually, in a broad sense, we get this information. But there may be some records relating to local incidents. Everywhere it is there. Even in Madras RKs, we find so many writings of the English people on the history and culture of the people in a very vivid manner. So like that we have to look into it in the local archival sources, whether such materials are available. But really, it is a history to be reconstructed. The history of Jamal.
I think there should be a lot from him in the Lights letters. Unfortunately, it's gone unpublished so far. The Lights diary letters.
We should see that.
Will it be European influence because of the Crimean War?
Crimean War, but the Crimean War is more in Europe. It's not the Indonesians. But by the way, I would like to mention that we have some descendants from Kapitan Kling who are here with us.
I just have a question for you. Since your book was published, has it reignited interest in the Tamil Muslims in India to somehow revive their lost trade? Have they expressed interest now that India is becoming, India is a large Asian economy? Is it? Do they plan to network with the people that they have here? Not in terms of maritime trade, but other trades as well? Or have they completely ignored your book?
That depends upon the brilliant question of the scholars. But anyhow, always when we write a book, it is for all. But we wish that the message should spread. The message should be taken to each and every people, whomever interested in the maritime trade in particular and the general history at large. So it is for them to look into it. But almost the one good thing is that my book is available almost in all the major libraries of the world. We took efforts, at least in that respect, because it was a government publication, Tamil Nadu government publication. So we took efforts to send such books from our institution to almost all the premier research institutions in the world. Hope they are in those places. I also got it confirmed. So many people were getting information from this class. This is the only book available on the Coromandel Muslims.
Also, one of the products that still is alive, that reminds us of this whole story, is the polycat. now it also went to Sumatra, now across South Thailand also. And that's one, until today, you will still find that.
During the Dutch period, yes, during the Dutch period, in fact, we were getting ships, Muslim ships who were sailing from the Pulicat port alone, mostly from Pulicat port. So we find so many references in the Dutch records about the Muslim trade of Pulicat with Southeast Asia. We find also many names of Muslim traders. One of the important product of Pulicat was this lungi. Pulicat lungi. Then it was changed. Nowadays it is called the Palayakat lungi. It is called, but it is actually the Pulicat lungi, which was in color. I was also told that it was in a beautiful color. It was woven in a beautiful color. The original thing. When I took up field study at Pulicat, we found only one or two families who owned the traditional families. Some or other, the people who are there about 80 years old or something, they were able to recollect things and they were able to tell us certain information. So the whole the residential area is a pathetic scenario that all the old houses of 200 years, 300 years were in ruins and all these things. So in the midst of those things, we got some information and really the Pulicat connection with the Southeast Asia is the earliest.
I understood that after the Second World War, 50s, 60s, 70s, when Penang was a free port, the Indians who went back home bought Pulicat in Penang because it was better quality. So but I understood it came from Indonesia. It was Indonesian.
No, when the thing is, at one point of time, Pulicat lost its importance. The Dutch shifted their capital from Pulicat to Nagapattinam. So Nagapattinam port ceased its importance. From that onwards, even after that, no company trade took place from Pulicat. The traders and maritime traders and some of the ship owners migrated to nearby Chennai, Madras.
I think what he means is when he says Pulicat, it's actually the cloth.
The cloth.
Because here, the sarong, the lungi, the gingham lungi, is called Pulicat.
Yes.
So when we say Pulicat, we don't mean the pots. We mean the cloth.
Yeah, we mean cloth. And is this something that you exported to Yemen, where we notice Arab men in their robes and they wear the Pulicat inside, right?
Also from India.
That's from India, right? That's not Arab. Yes. And I also spoken with some Arabs, and they have told me in Hadramaut, some of the mosque materials are from India, shipped from India, sent to the ports, and then they had donkeys, I think, transporting it to the mainland. And so it was Indian material that also contributed to the mosque in Yemen. Am I not right?
The granite, is that stone?
Stones, yes. I think some of the stones.
So even the Pulicat ships in return journey, they procured some cloths which were refined, which were painted or something like that at Aceh, and they took it to Pulicat and they sold it.
Yeah.
So as Aceh cloth, they have sold.
But it could be Gujarati.
They also have.
These are all very about when we write about the whole historical story of Tamil Muslim trade, we get a lot of interesting information in the records which have to be studied still in deep.
Incidentally, you can still buy Indian-made polecards at 111 Choliya Street. Father's shop.
That's hard to get now, right? Yes, very difficult.
Can you tell us a bit about the betel nut trade? Because there's this it is believed that the Indians came to Penang in search of betel nuts, areca nuts.
Areca Chatichu is the Penang, the betel nut. You know,
Yes,
Penang.
yes. Betel nut. Only because of that, there is a story, it runs that when Francis Drake came there, the people, when he was interacting with the local people, they told that when they were processing the betel nut, he asked the local people that what is the name of this island he was actually asking, but the people told him as this Penang. Penang, it's betel nut in Malay. So he has told, he has taken it, so this is the name of this island as Penang. Like that the story goes. But it is a very interesting thing, I never thought of the etymology of the word, that we have to look into it in the proper way.
What I want to know is, according to the records, the Indians came here, Penang, in search of betel nuts. You know, the climate in South India and Penang are similar. You can also grow betel nuts in India. Why did they come here?
Chapati.
Yeah, if it's true. Is there any records on this?
We have to.
No.
No, that's what I telling. I need to go into that actually. That after coming over here, some of the friends were asking this question to me. But I have read only up to this. Francis Lake, correction with the Francis Lake history. So it's a very interesting thing that also looked into. When this name came, what is the name of this previous name? What would it be?
But the Penang name is very old because even in the Chinese records, you know, like the
Chinese record also?
They always call it Penang too. So it's the so-called Cheng Ho map, but we don't know whether it's during Cheng Ho's time or a bit after Cheng Ho's time. But it's really, you know, definitely predates Francis Light. So they already call it Penang.
Because of the strong relations with Kedah, are there any stories of Kedah rulers, families staying in South India, being exiled or moving in there? Are there any traces, any stories of them living there, moving there, or daughters married?
We have no
reverse.
I have not no information available with me about all those details of the ruling houses. That has to be studied in depth. But the only information that we come across is the wife of the first ruler of Malacca was a Tamil Muslim.
Yeah.
But in Tarikh Al-Kedah, I can't remember the year of publication, there is a mention of one of the Sultan of Kedah, going to...
So local history that...
Yes.
Local
There's one instance.
Yes.
I can't remember the name.
And you know the name for Georgetown is supposed to be Pudukurai. Have you ever come across that name?
Which one?
The name for the Tamil name for Georgetown.
What?
For Georgetown, there's a Tamil name.
What?
What was it like? The Tamil name was Pudukurai.
Something like Pudukurai or...
Is that Tamil?
Okay, never mind. I will find it and then I will show you. Yeah.
It might have a certain meaning, like a certain place.
Yeah. It's supposed to mean like the new shore, the new beach.
The new beach.
In the old map of India, what was the name of Penang? Was that a particular name? When in the early days travelers came.
What did they call Penang?
Penang was not in limelight before
the British
formation by Francis Light. It was a part of Kedah. It was a part of a Kedah state. So it might have one of the centers of Kedah state. So we have no very specific references about before that, that is in the earlier centuries, that is about only about 18th century we get this information. About 17th century, 16th century, I don't find any specific information on this area.
What about links with Aceh? Links with Aceh,
Yes.
would be very strong.
Aceh?
And then the Aceh link with Penang also, with Pantai Aceh, there's supposed to be an old cemetery there, which I've never visited, but that particular link is also very strong.
Have you also looked at the Arab records?
The thing is, madam, Arab records are very, very less.
I see.
Very general.
See, we find so many family records of European trading families, particularly the Portuguese. So many family records shed much interesting information about the Coromandel trade, their relationship with the Coromandel people and all those things. Likewise, the family records of Dutch people and English people also. For English people, a large number of vast materials. The Nababs of Madras, what we call big merchants of British Empire. But we are not able to find records relating to the Arabian trade, either in the earlier time, that is before 3rd or 2nd century AD. We are not able to locate any concrete evidences, literary evidences or material evidences in the Arab countries. Only we are telling that we had a connection with the Arabs, with the Tamil literary sources.
And have you contacted? They have libraries in Hadramaut.
Yes, even so even here we stopped with the 2nd century. What happened about the trade? But we find references in the travelers' notes, even in the Chinese sources, that they were playing their ship. Arabs were playing their ships to this area in Indian water. But we are not able to collect any information. So it is very difficult to get the Arab original sources for our maritime systems, but still the research is going on. Even the recent excavations in so many Arab countries, in Kuwait, Bahrain and other places, have not yielded much result on these things. Like one in Kedah or either in Tamil Nadu in certain places, we have got very good references to the ancient trade and the modern trade and the so it is very difficult. But there would have been some trade contacts that families should have come and settled here and all those things. But we are not able to get any source from this. Luckily, the sources of the European companies are the prime sources to write the history of South India also. For the other things also, we have our indigenous sources are very, very less. So, with the indigenous sources, we may not be able to write our own history also. So, we have to depend on the writings of Europe. Fortunately, the European company records contain not only the trade matters, they contain political, cultural, social and all matters they contain. Particularly the English records give very good information about the castes, the behavior, culture, customs, marriage, everything.
I think we we have one last question. I think we were trying to ask this.
Okay, what are the survivability rate of these traders? To do the trades. We are talking about 80-ton ships and all these sloops and everything. When they are doing all this trading, how safe is the trading route? And how's the traffic like for this route?
So the voyages, are they safe, or sometimes the ship capsizes and then people drown? The safety of the voyage.
Safety of the voyage. Safety of the voyage was well assured in the ships of Coromandel Coast. For that we have good records in European records, even the earlier European records write about the ships built in Coromandel Coast. So they were built in such a way they did not use nails or any metals to fasten the wood. They used ropes and ropes that are used to tie the wooden planks with the ropes and all this. And the leakage is prevented with the natural resins and all this. Resistant to water, something like that. So the security, even in the earlier Arab writings, we find certain references of the Indian ships. The Indian ships are more secure than the other ships.
But at one time they are carrying, they're doing a lot of human trafficking. So they overloaded the ships with too many people, right? They can carry animals. So I think we will bring this to a conclusion. And before you all go, actually there's some food outside as well. You can join us for some makan there. But should we take a group photograph? Yeah. Present it? Yes. Okay. Maybe that's satu orang yang present. Kita boleh sitting. She's taking it. Sorry.